I've been self-made from the dribble.
What's hood, y'all? You're now tuned in to IE Radio. My name is Heavy the Homie.
Nappy 2000.
For those tuning in, if you do know, we are giving away some passes to the High Life Music Fest. Call in and let us know the name of this song.
Gotta be love. Run the city, it gotta be cuz. It's for the pieces I took off the Monopoly board. Hey, y'all boss claims it gotta be fraud. Just keep the
Mic check 1 2 1 2.
I doubled up, tripled up, what? Banged on the whole game, I ain't give a f. Nobody tripping, handle business, got my digits up. And when I drop, you know I'm about to last time that I checked. It was 5 chains on my neck. It was no smut on my rep last time that I checked. I was selling in the set. Make $250,000, no sweat last time that I checked. I'm the streets voice out west. Legendary self-made progress last time that I checked. First you get the money, then respect, then the power and the come next. Last time that I checked. Through fly check. No cosign, I ain't need radio to do mine. I done fine and I take my time and take my tribe. Every level that I crossed in this game like state lines, it was visionary. Either I'm genius or it's scary. Maybe it's both in this balance I deliver daily. For every in these streets trying to feed the babies. The single mama's working hard not to miss a payment. And dirty money get washed on royalty statements. Black owners in this game are powerful racists. Young then the set just doing it makeshift out the garage. How you end up in Georgia, how you end up in penthouses, end up in cars, how you start off a car, end up in bosses.
We already got one caller. That's one High Life ticket gone. We got 3 more. So stay tuned. We got 3 more songs for y'all.
Last time that I checked, I was selling in the set. Make $250,000, no sweat. Last time that I checked. I'm the streets voice out west. Legendary self-made progress. Last time that I checked. First you get the money, then respect, then the power and the come next. Last time that I checked.
I got the front and in the back. We on the way and that's a fact. This real, this ain't rap. Where everybody wanna act pro-black. The last lie you heard, this ain't that. This, that, I didn't. Made it out the gutter. Nip told you the middleman. I told you for wearing they clothes, I wear my own. Y'all get on your label, I own my own. Hey, Mill, I remember all that game you throw me. Don't fuck around and get played by the label owners. Talk that to these Adrian Broner, but secure the window, don't let the game vote you. Cause when it's game over, it's really
one High Life ticket is gone. We got 3 more. Stay tuned for the next 3 songs to get your tickets. These are free tickets. I don't even know how much a High Life ticket is nowadays. It's probably like $50. I don't even know.
I'm the streets voice out west. Legendary self-made progress. Last time that I checked. First you get the money, then respect, then the power and come next. Last time that I checked.
I was born in the boogie down cat scan, with my builder fell down on the rat scan. People sold a super one a trip to the P now, while I settle off the shores of the Long Island. My father's clean, I mean my mind is clear when I transmit. I am the man of the family cause the pants fit. I want to let forensics prove that I can mince groove with the threat from Nita Water hate. Wanna say salutation to the nation of the Nubians. We about to place it in that 3 feet of stew again. I got the frequency to shatter Mrs. Jones' perm. I got a hail of other honeys, cause some short-term Cali and a storm for the shotty in the jacket. For the brother
The first High Life ticket is gone. Stay tuned. We have some very special guests coming up. Tune in at 8:20 to see that. They have a great cause in Santa Ana, doing great things for the community. Stay tuned and get those tickets.
Hey yo, groove with the mayor, has it on the sayer, wave the 18 mil, even still, sack a bag of troubles, make a single double, loop the coin and join the minimum wage. I had a plan if I was the man.
Yo, what do you think about the High Life Festival lineup? I think it's pretty dope. I can't even front. I think this is one of the best. Yeah, I think this is one of the best ones too.
I be the fabulous, but see, unlike the G, I got the flea up in the name. He know up in my cousin from the beat of pipe. I like the others, latching on the win, I caught the fame. Pass the task to ask me about the native tongue again. My friend, I tell you, jungle brothers on the run. I'm shaking hands with many devils in the industry. Believe the genesis, like it was still me that I'm deaf. Like the autograph sign until the break of dawn.
Special.
Now there's no shiny happy people in the crew. We play the rough. I got the huff and puff to blow the house low. You know the never end the factor while I'm on the telesquid. I know an enterprise brother, so report.
Yes, y'all. We've already given away one pass to the High Life Music Fest. Keep tuning in. We got 3 more passes to give away. Shout out to all the listeners out there. This is IE Radio. My name is Heavy the Homie. We appreciate all you guys out there. Keep rocking with us, y'all.
Once again, the deal I sold is sure to show that we will hit the charter harder than the normal rapping bull.
Ooh. If you're tuned in to IE Radio, this is the next song to win this High Life ticket. If you can call in and name this song, it's that easy. You get a free ticket.
And we don't need you to name the artist because the artist is obvious.
It's pretty easy.
Yeah, we need you to name the name of the song.
This song's pretty easy too.
About the same time Dre dropped 2001. 3 years later, the album is done. Aftermath presents with an attitude, volume 1. Rap critics politicking, wanna know the outcome. Ready to die, reasonable doubt and doggy style in one. I feel like Pac after the Snoop Dogg trial was done. Dre behind that G-series and all eyes on me. I watched the death of a dynasty, so I told Vibe magazine. Working with Dr. Dre was I had visions of making a classic. Then my world turned black, like I was staring out of Stevie Wonder's glasses. It's kinda hard to imagine, like Kanye West coming back from his fatal accident to beat making and rapping. But we the future. Whitney Houston told me that, and it's gonna take more than a bullet in the heart to hold me back. Rushing in this 40 ounce, letting the ink from my pen bleed. Cause Martin Luther King had her, Aaliyah had her, Left Eye had her. So I reached out to Kanye and brought you all my dreams. It's cause I love. I had dreams of the R&B like Maya. When I saw that on the front of that King, read the article in the magazine. She loved gangsters, love nasty things. So I'm in the glass house having nasty dreams. Good girls never give it up, but anything is possible. If 50 Vivica hurdle life's obstacles, found my way through the maze. Then joy turned to pain like Frankie Beverly and Maze. Used to dream of being unsigned hype till I was crushed by Dave Mays. Almost let my pen fall asleep on the page. Daydreaming yesterday, dozing off backstage. I thought I saw Easy talking to Jam Master Jay. So I walked over, heard Jam Master say, it's a hard knock life, then you pass away. They say sleep is the cousin of death. So my eyes wide open, cause a dream is kin to your last breath. Rushing in this 40 ounce, letting the ink from my pen bleed. Cause Martin Luther King had her, Aaliyah had her, Left Eye had her. So I reached out to Kanye and brought you all my dreams.
'cause I love you.
The dreamer Huey Newton, that's what I'm living through. The dreamer Eric Wright, that's what I'm giving you. Who walked through the White House without a business suit? Compton had Jerry curl dripping on Ronald Reagan shoes. Gave
that's
Mike
two
Glenn my
tickets
demo,
gone.
came here to pay my dues. Started off with Who Kid,
It's very
then
simple.
I start blazing Clue. It was all a dream.
I
like
really
Big
don't know
said,
how much
don't
these
sleep
tickets
on
are
me,
neither.
homie. I bring nightmares to reality.
Yo,
Rap
this is IE
phenomenon,
Radio.
defying
Who
the
we
rules of
speaking with?
gravity. Studied all the classics, start revising my strategy, cause Marshall Mathers made it. Curtis Jackson
Yo, this is
made
IE
it.
Radio. Who we speaking with?
We're speaking with Roger. What's good?
What's good,
Hey.
Hey, MC Life says.
This is Nappy 2000 and Heavy the homie.
Roger? Shout out to
Yeah.
MC Life. He's the one that provided us with these High Life music
The
passes,
homie.
actually. So, yes, shout out to the homie
Yeah.
MC
I
Life.
fuck with, yeah.
All right, so do you know the name of the song for us?
Dreams by the game.
Oh, you good, you good, you good.
That's right, West Coast. It ain't Wednesday, but we're still repping the West Coast, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Congratulations, my brother. You got some free High Life tickets. That easy.
I appreciate that, man. I've been tuning in the Sunday show. Sunday was cracking, man. I appreciate what you guys do for the Dino.
Right
Oh,
on.
yeah, much love,
We
bro.
appreciate you tuning in as well, brother. We got your information, so we'll go ahead and get you those passes. Keep tuning in.
right.
We appreciate you.
Good looking out, dog.
One love.
One love,
Yeah,
yo.
one.
Okay. This is actually the next one.
If you know the name of this song, go ahead and call in right now, and you could be the next winner, y'all.
Girl, you drive my love life crazy. You're the star of my show. Girl, you're the best thing I know. Yeah. Every part of you tells me so. Yeah. The very, very best thing I know. Yeah. I feel you in my heart and my soul. You're a fairy tale in real life. I'm lost for words. Baby, you're a masterpiece. I fell in love with you at first sight. And I won't let go. To my heart, you hold the master key. Girl, you're the best thing I know. Yeah. Every
So,
part of you
we are
tells me
giving
so.
away one last ticket. And actually, this ticket, you win two. You win two High Life tickets. So, if you name this one last person, you actually get two tickets. It's that simple. Name the person singing the song.
Come close, let me
Call
lay you
into the
down.
radio station.
And
you
give
get-
us the name of the song as well.
Give us the name of the song. We know who the person is. That's cool. But give us the name of the song. And then we will give you what you need.
Yeah, forgive Nappy. He needed to take a smoke break before the show, so
It'll be like
he's a
that.
little half-baked. Shout out to our first winners, Catalina Chavez and Mr. Roger.
Hey, Roger was hype.
Yeah, Roger was hype.
My man was happy. I would be hyped too, though. Like, once again, though, how much are these? Can someone look up how much these tickets are? Someone please look up how much High Life Music Festival tickets are.
Well, they're a lot more than free.
Huh?
Creating beautiful memories. You loving me, I'm loving you. Girl, such a beautiful melody. Girl, you're the best thing I know. Yeah. Every part of you tells me so. Yeah. The very, very best thing I know. Yeah. I feel you in my heart and my soul. Yeah.
Yo, this is IE Radio. Who we speaking with? Yo, you there?
Hello?
What's up? Who we speaking with? Right on, from Riverside. That's what's up. All right, you got the name of that song for us?
Yeah, the name of the song is Best Thing by K. Manny Marley.
Right on.
You didn't, what is it, Shazam it or nothing like that?
Do people even Shazam nowadays?
Nah,
That
I
app still
Shazam
exists?
stuff, bro, for sure.
I didn't even know that app still existed. Hey, congratulations, Juan.
All right.
You just won 2 passes, bro. We appreciate you tuning in.
All right, thanks. I appreciate for what you guys are doing for us, man.
Yo, man,
Yeah,
much
man.
love. Thank you for
Much
tuning
love.
in.
Keep tuning in every Tuesday. Tell all your homies to tune in. Tell your mama, your daddy, your baby
yeah.
mama, whatever. Tell everybody. Tell all the homies tune in.
Your dog.
Yeah, him too. Right on. Stay up, brother. Shout out to all the listeners out there tuning in. If you just tuned in, this is IE Radio. My name is Heavy the Homie.
Nappy 2000.
For all the listeners out there, we just gave away 4 passes to next weekend's High Life Music Festival going down at the Nas Event Center in San Bernardino. Shout out to our listeners that participated. We may give away some more tickets next week, so keep tuning in. We also got an interview coming up. You want to introduce them?
We got the people, roses that grew from the concrete, coming all the way from Santa Ana. Well, that's not really far. That's like, what, 45 minutes away? In the carpool?
Yeah, in the carpool. We cheated.
So how you guys doing today?
Yeah, we're doing really well, man. Really excited to be here. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I really want to know, what was the reason why you guys wanted to do a benefit concert like this in specific?
I think it's out of necessity for the community.
Right.
Because, you know, the theme of this show is really fighting incarceration and using narrative therapy as a form of combating the school-to-prison pipeline.
Mm-hmm.
And being from Santa Ana, we see that these issues, they're very prevalent in our neighborhoods, and we feel that the way that we're spreading this message, you know, using hip hop, you know, one of the most like grassroots form of art, it's gonna really resonate with the youth that we have in Santa Ana.
How do you think, in specific, hip hop necessarily helps the youth or the community, the arts in specific, when it comes to reaching out to people, speaking to people, or people who necessarily won't listen to the government but will find their information through music or through rap?
Yeah, I think it's about like think back when you first found that song that you really connected with, and like they're talking about like an issue, and it might not be right exactly how you face that issue, but it's similar. And it's similar in a way that this person who you most likely don't know, the artist, you know, you're connecting with their message, and through that, it's building a bridge between you and the artist. It's making the world a little bit smaller, making your problem a little less smaller, and that's what narrative therapy really is. It's about separating the problem from the person. And so when you find that other people are having the same issues, it's not, you realize that it's not just me, you know, it's not, I'm not made to have this problem. It was forced upon me, you know?
That's funny because YG actually was talking about how he thinks he has PTSD because of the things that he saw growing up. You know what I mean? It wasn't necessarily him or the way he was growing up. It was the community and pretty much the oppressive things that happened in that area that brought him to do those things or have those certain thoughts to make him feel that way.
Yeah, and there's a speech by one of the professors that our director works with. His name is Jeff Duncan Andrade, and he talks about how researchers did a study how PTSD affects, you know, youth in the hood so often that it was so much worse than PTSD. They decided to call it CTSD, which is chronic trauma. And so YG definitely has, you know, reason for feeling that way, for sure.
Yeah, that's crazy because I don't really think people necessarily think that, because people only think, I don't know, if you go to Iraq or Afghanistan that you can only get PTSD there, but you know, people in Chicago are getting killed every single day.
It's a war zone in all these neighborhoods, really.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I can only imagine just living in a lifestyle like that every single day to the point to where I can't even go outside my own crib safe, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah, it gets to the point where it's generational, like you said. It's people, your grandpa's in the gang, your dad's in the gang, so of course you're going to grow up, even if you don't join the gang, you're still going to grow up in that environment, you're still in that same neighborhood, so yeah, no matter what, whether you like it or not, it's just in there, and it's just crazy, like you said, that PTSD, everyone thinks about it, it has to be in war or something like that, like something traumatic, but realistically, it could be something like that, your everyday life being a war zone and being something that's dangerous, that alone, like you said, it leads to the chronic, where, you know, not the good chronic, you know, but
because it's you know, soldiers, they leave the battlefield, but the youth, they wake up in it every single day.
That's what I mean. There's no getting away from it, you know, there's no deployment and coming back, you know, you're living it every day.
Yeah.
I saw that there's a 4 million difference in between the youth mass incarceration compared to the youth development programs. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Ooh, yeah, the city of Santa Ana, I could break it down even to individuals.
Yeah, do that.
The city of Santa Ana currently invests $12,722 in getting each youth arrested in the city, when they only invest $143 in their positive youth development. So what does that mean? Do they really want to invest in our positive youth development, have successful kids come back to our neighborhoods and start inspiring other youth? I don't think that's the plan for the city. I think they want to profit out of our cheap labor. So I think we got to start investing. That's why we decided to make this positive benefit concert. Because if the city's not going to invest in us, we're going to figure out ways where we can invest in ourselves. And that is by creating this movement.
Well, salute to you guys for that, because that's a big step, and that's something that everybody don't really have the balls to do, you know. So I do respect you both for doing that, and you know, all your team, whoever's involved with it, because that is dope.
What is? Oh, go ahead.
Just shout out to the team who couldn't make it. They're still working on the event right
now.
Yeah, I know it's not just you two. Obviously, there's more people involved. So
it's Team No Sleep right now.
Yeah, Team No Sleep. That's real. That's the only way to get it done, though.
Exactly,
yeah, for sure.
What are some of the topics that are going to be hit at this event?
So yeah, we have one of the things that we wanted to do is we realized that there's a school to prison pipeline, and we realized how can we make a school school pipeline, and we decided let's make an educational portion to this event. That's what we did, 2 portions to this event, a free community event and then a benefit concert portion. During the community event, we have KRS-One teaching us about how hip-hop helps youth stay out of trouble, how hip-hop helped him, how hip-hop taught him, and how hip-hop was a form of knowledge. And after that, we are going to have a narrative therapy through the arts workshop where we define our own stories, not defined by the mainstream media. We get a chance to speak for ourselves other than the other people with the camera. We get to define ourselves. And after that, we have the benefit concert featuring. We'll talk about it later. We'll add on it. For sure. Yeah.
KRS-One, I seen him talk at this one show called Cut the Bias, and my man was spitting so much knowledge, and I truly appreciate somebody who is still of that age in hip-hop willing to go out and not even do big shows necessarily and still speak to the community and to the public and still work with people like us or like you guys, you know, no matter how big or small, and still willing to push the movement and the issue. I like that.
Yeah,
they don't call him the teacher for nothing, you know.
Teacher, that's what we call him.
Yeah, we're gonna get a whole hour lecture from him too. So I'm really looking forward to that myself. Yeah.
So this is something we haven't announced to the public, but we're gonna have a healing circle during that in between portion of the community event and the benefit concert. We're gonna have an hour where we get to put the artists together, headliners, students, educators, professors, colleges. We put them in one room, isolated from the public, and we get to discuss and break down some of the issues that are going on in the community and how we could come together as a community of different people to dismantle these issues. So I'm really excited you guys could be there as well. So.
Oh yeah, we will
I'm
be
looking
there.
forward to it. I didn't even realize all of that was going to be going down, so that's awesome.
Yeah, and I think that's what really separates this event from, you know, different festivals that are just like music festivals, you know, because this message, it's about building like collective power within the community. It's about empowering the people who have been like disenfranchised, you know, their entire lives.
Well, because that's the thing that us as a people forget, that in numbers we do have the power.
Exactly.
But we just got to work together.
Yeah.
And, you know, bring the community back to being a community.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. That's what we're saying. We have a lot of people that came together last minute. They're like, how can we help you guys out? And that's why we want to give a shout out to Suavecito, one of our biggest brands from Santa Ana. Also,
Pharaoh's Inc. And there was the State Farm Agency. But, yeah. Yeah. But shout out to them too.
And No Jumper I saw came along as well.
Oh yeah, Adam 22. He was like, I want to do more charity event. I reached out to him actually a couple of days ago, and he was on it.
A day and a half ago.
Yeah, he was like on it, and he's responding to me. He's like, he's trying to be about it. Like we seen this rise in the movement where we all gotta come together and dismantle these issues that are affecting everybody.
I'm glad we can all come together on one accord. You know what I mean? That's all
definitely.
it takes. Did you specifically pick these artists because they stand for a movement in particular?
Yeah, so these artists were very intentional. How about we went about even communicating with them? We started off by simply just telling our story, and they engaged with our story, so we got to learn about each other. And with a lot of these artists, we sat in a table and broke bread. We actually had a conversation in the car. How important it is to break bread with a person, because you create peace and you create that connection. So a lot of these artists, we could say now that we have a strong connection with. They're more than just a relationship.
It's not just a business relationship.
It's just not an exchange. It's more of a community that we're trying to build.
Right. So what person in particular would you say you had the best connection with while going through this process?
I have to say the homegirl Reverie.
Reverie.
Reverie is a dope individual.
Yeah.
She's been on the show before, actually, before
really?
I was here. But yeah, she's been on the show before. We got to get her back soon, but she's very dope.
Shout out to Reverie.
Yeah, shout out to Reverie. We had a really dope interview with her, like, was it June or something like that?
Yeah,
June. We went to Highland Park, and we met up at like this local cafe, and Jonathan Hernandez, the director of this nonprofit, he had the questions for her, and I think just me being behind the camera and like filming the whole thing, I got like some really good insight as to like how she came about to be the person that she is now, and it definitely changed my mind about her. Like I didn't really know her too well.
Yeah, she's come a long way, bro.
Yeah,
from
sure.
MySpace, you know, to now. She's come a long way.
Yeah, and just like I remember that day and just like sitting behind the camera, I was like, damn, like this is a dope ass artist, you know.
Yeah, she is. She's well rounded. She has her, her own clothing line.
Yeah.
She pretty much runs everything by herself. So
yeah,
that's dope. Yeah.
Every one of those artists are really good though. I really like this lineup.
Oh yeah, it's a solid lineup.
Forward to it.
Yeah, we recently added Aloe Black. We're looking back at his music, and we started realizing that a lot of these artists already carry this positive music. We listened to there was a song where he talked about immigration, how a young girl was separated from her family, and then later she came back to her family, started realizing that this is an issue that affects the whole country. And that's Aloe Black right there, and it's something that really inspires you with his music, and he really touches you with his soul music. So that's we gotta call it how it is, you know?
Yeah. Akon does that too. He gave a lot of electricity to people in Africa as well.
He's one of the few like celebrities I admire a lot, actually, that, you know, he made his money and stuff, and then he's giving it back in very like impactful ways, you know, around the world too. A lot of respect for that.
Oh yeah, man. Much love to everybody. Common, you know what I mean? Common sense. Got common sense.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Ruby Ibarra. She's really dope. Sure. Like I remember seeing her on the Cypher Effect a long time ago, and I seen her. I was like, she's dope. And then she put out like a couple of her own videos, and I could always tell she's real. Has that political stance. And shout out to the homie Bamboo. I know they're all like along that same line. Yeah. And she has that video with Classy and I forgot Bamboo's wife, but it's all about like Filipinos taking a stance and stuff. And that was like when I seen that video, I was like, that's hard. Like that's real hard. I don't know how they did that, how long that took, but that video, if you haven't seen it, go ahead and check it out.
Yeah, it's strong.
It's dope.
It's a very powerful music video. Island Women Rise.
Island Women Rise. Yeah, that's the name of it.
The thing about her too is like I love how she embraces her culture, and she puts it in your face. You know, she's not.
Most Filipinos low key are like that though. I got a lot of homies that are Filipinos, and
that's cool.
They're really
strong pride.
Yeah, they're very you know. Pacquiao, whenever we would go over to my homie's house for the Pacquiao fights, that thing was crazy. Like,
and we need that.
Who they were fighting.
We got to see that in music because it's about like diversifying, you know, the music scene as well. You know.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So, can you guys talk about the education system in the OC? Because it said only 50% of people graduate over 25 years old. Am I saying that correctly?
I don't even know if that makes sense, bro. 25 years old. How are you in high school? What do you mean?
All right, do you mean college or?
It said only 50% of individuals 25 and older have a high school diploma.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. Can you explain that a little bit more? Because that was a crazy fact to me. I did not know that.
Yeah, I would say it definitely varies from what part of Orange County you're in. Because, you know, people say there's like North County, there's Central County, and there's South County. And you have very different school districts between those places. To be honest, I'm really only familiar with Santa Ana School District. You know, that's where I'm from. And I do see that there's an issue there with graduation rates. I think it was like the rate of graduation from like Santa Ana High School, it's like really low. It's like, I don't want to throw a number out there, but I just know I'm also a journalist. I don't want to, you know, come back on my word or anything like that, but it's really low and there's a huge deficit there. And to kind of tie it back to like Santa Ana Unidos, you know, the nonprofit, we saw that deficit, you know, and we wanted to find out, how do we fill that gap? How do we get those kids to walk that stage, you know? And this goes back to our intervention and prevention programs. I think Mario can talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so I was one of those kids. The day before my graduation, my counselor said, you're not gonna walk. And I was like, whoa. And I started to realize that it was way bigger than just myself. It was just growing up, not having the right things to be prepared for school. And we started realizing we need to integrate programs like critical pedagogy. That's something that Jeff Andrade, a professor that's going to come to this event, he's really well known for his speech, The Roses That Grew from Concrete. He has his own school called Roses in Concrete.
Shout out to Jeff.
Yeah, shout out to Jeff. So what critical pedagogy is wrapping the classroom around the students, making sure that the students run the classroom because they know it's not one size fits all for classrooms. So we got to start understanding these social issues and understanding the communities. A lot of our teachers don't want to stay past sundown. So how do you expect a student to do good in class? You got to have these dope teachers teaching dope students, and eventually you have higher graduation rates. And that's one of the things we focus on. We work with a lot of high schools just to push forward this message and how to interconnect everything within the community.
Yeah, because we also want to see like schools modeled more as like community centers, you know, like what he said, like some teachers, they'll like as soon as like school's over, like sun goes down, like they're out, you know, like
not even that, they're clocking out as soon as the bell rings.
For sure, yeah.
Just like the student, like, well, we're out.
Yeah, and like a lot of them, they don't live in Santa Ana, and they're teaching youth in Santa Ana, and you know, you can only relate so much if if you're not from there.
It's kind of the same thing with law enforcement. We have cops policing cities that they don't live in, so they obviously don't really even care for these people because it's not their community.
Yeah, it's they're not looking at what these kids are really good at, and it goes back to critical pedagogy. It's, you know, centering the learning environment around the student and seeing what they are good at, and
pretty much not grading the elephant on its skill to fly and not grading the birds, you know, skill to swim. Yeah. If school was like that, I mean, there would be so much more successful people in the world, and it's crazy that we're in 2018 and this is something that's barely, I mean, I don't know how long you guys have been involved with it or whatever, but this is the first I'm hearing of. What is that? How do you guys say it again? The
roses in the concrete?
No. The thing, the school or whatever that you guys are talking about, the program, the way of
critical pedagogy.
Critical pedagogy. That's crazy. I need to Google that when I get home and actually do my
I don't know if
research.
you guys knew that the state of California has an education system that has billions of dollars in its budget, and they're only required to put 1 into the arts programs. So that's one of the main things we're up here 1%. To talk about. 1%. We're here to push forward that number to make sure that we have these kids into the right programs, not getting them in trouble and criminalizing them because they're scribing windows because they don't have blackboards. Like, we gotta get these kids the resources they need to stop criminalizing these kids that don't gotta be criminalized. All they need is a little bit more investment, and that's what we're here to push forward.
That's all it is, because I have family in this small town in North Carolina, and there's no indoor basketball court, you know what I'm saying? There's no swimming pool, you know? There's no community center where they can all go. You know, there's just the streets, and there's nothing for them to do but get in trouble, have kids, sell drugs, just do what they do. So there needs to be certain things put into place in the school to where they can have different programs to where they're learning how to save their money, how to do something positive. I don't know, bring back wood chip classes, you know what I mean? Simple things like that are actually positive and can maybe develop something to make them do something different.
Yeah, talking about that, in Santa Unidos, we have intervention and prevention programs. We provide boxing programs where we know that boxing is just the hook to get these kids out of the streets. We provide the programs, and again, it's all based off critical pedagogy. How can you keep these kids out of the street? We built a gardening program called Keeping It OG, where our neighborhood, it means keeping it original gangster.
That's catchy.
So it actually, we switched that term to keeping it organically grown. Yeah. So these programs are more based off the community, and just basic things like gardening could keep kids out of the streets.
Systematic oppression is becoming more and more prevalent as the years grow. It was very, very known in the 60s, but now
it was kind of just like the veils being pulled away now, and everybody's seeing. Everybody kind of knew it was there, but now everybody's noticing more. Like you said, it's becoming way more prevalent.
Yeah, the community has to come together. If not, then nothing's going to happen.
Yeah, and I think one of the bigger things too about like what we're trying to do is one of the bigger things is we want to affect policy. You know, going back to like the 1% statistic of our investment in the state of California, it's that, you know, it's making that percentage get higher, but also it's about educating the people that are going to be at this event that are following our work and showing them like, yo, this is set up for you to go to prison if you're like in a disenfranchised group. Like they will make money off you and they will not care. And that's where you're gonna end up. But we can change that. We can change that if you follow our stuff, if we get together and we continue to have these conversations, and you know, through that it goes back to, you know, building collective power and just making sure that like everyone is accounted for. You know, you can only get so many people off the street. And that's the sad truth of it. So, but you can fix that approach too, because you gotta ask yourself like, why can't we get everyone off the street? You know, and you go to like the people that are just not being receptive to your work, and then you find out what are you good at. You know, it's asset-based community building. You got to find out what they're good at, and then you build through that, and then through their own, you know, responses, they're gonna get better, you know?
Yeah, use your resources around you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. It's a holistic approach. Yeah, talking about holistic. There's a thing called permaculture where you find what everything's surrounding. Look at your surroundings and base it off what you have surrounded off. Then you grow from there. So it's not looking at what's missing. Let's look at what we have and let's try to build on top of that. Because we're focused on too much on what we don't have.
What we're lacking and stuff.
And what we're lacking, and we lose attention of what we could do, what we have. So talking about the system of oppressions, I don't know if you guys knew this surprising fact. Since the year 1980, the state of California has built 23 prisons compared to one university. So we look at that fact and we're like, where do we really want to push forward graduation rates, or do we really want to put more people into this cheap labor system where they benefit off us?
It's big business. It's the new generation of slavery. Call it what you want, but I just read about the fires or whatever. I was in the paper and stuff about the people that are working. I forgot what they call them, but the dudes that are in prison that are working to put these fires out. The dudes in fire camp.
Oh yeah.
That they're making like $2 an hour or something like that to go out there and put these fires out. And it's crazy. They're risking their lives, and who knows what other health complications they're gonna get. Even though they're still alive. All of that inhalation and stuff, they don't have insurance like firefighters who are actually paid to do this stuff. They're getting paid, peanuts, and it's just literally slavery. It's crazy.
Yeah, and did you also know that once, assuming the ones that can get out of prison, did you know that they won't be eligible to become to work with like Cal Fire or anything like that?
Yeah, it's crazy, and they're literally they're more than qualified.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, I even heard about the elementary schools, how they go and just based off of their test scores, they make more prison beds because they're like, oh, well, if this person has low test scores, then they're more than likely to get in trouble in the future. So they're even targeting the youth at 7 years old, and that's sick to me.
Which is crazy because where does, your ability as a student and your ability to be a criminal, like how does that coincide with where, I don't understand how those things even relate,
Yeah, talking about that, in the city of Santa Ana, we have a gang database. A lot of our kids are born already into this gang database, and when the police stop them for a simple crime like jaywalking, they already consider as a gang member, and they're babies. So that's so sad to know that the system already knows that they want us into their crooked system not to succeed.
Yeah, and then going off it's going back to what you said about how they're betting on like the 7th grader to go to prison or whatever, higher chances of that, and they're only looking at numbers. You got to understand that's they're looking at standardized testing, and they're boiling your life down or your
probability chances.
Your potential, just to a number of it's a score that you got on a certain day of the week.
Yeah.
That
who knows? You could have had a bad night at home.
Exactly.
Your mom could have came home and your dad got into it or something. You didn't get to sleep. I mean, as a kid growing up, I dealt with stuff like that, so I understand it. But at the same time, it's just crazy that kids nowadays are still dealing with that, and like you said, they're being analyzed and they don't even understand it.
No, they don't. They're targeted, and it's extremely predatory. And that's going back to the whole education aspect of the event and our work. We're educating on that. We're letting them know this is what they're doing with your test scores. This is how they're observing you, but keep in mind that that's not you, and prove them wrong. And we can find out what tools you need to prove them wrong. Yeah.
Exactly. The day of the event, I don't know if you guys also knew this, the Urban Peace Institute is going to be joining us. They're going to be running a survey which is going to determine what we consider safety. How much parks do we have in every block? Is that considered safety? Is it safe for kids to play in alleyways, or is it safe for kids to get arrested? So we start defining these issues, and we're basing it off facts now. We're starting to present these things to the city council, and if they can't see this, then I'm pretty sure we don't got the right people.
It's time to vote for different people, but like you said, if you have a felony, you can't vote.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's a trap, man. It's a trap.
It's a trap.
And then consider how many people have felonies, because there's so many people that are targeted, and that's a whole demographic of people that just do not have the power to vote.
And then not only that, a lot of people in those communities, they don't really know about the law and how it works and stuff, so they might get stopped or busted for something small, and they're just scared of going to jail or scared of staying in jail, so they might take a deal and agree to something that they could have got off the record or could have been found innocent for. It's just crazy. So many people take deals and stuff, and they throw their life away because now they got a felony on the record, and that's it.
Yeah, and when you're dealing with an issue so profound as poverty, you're not thinking about the things that we're talking about right now.
Exactly.
You're
you got
focused.
So much more. You're focused about when's your next meal gonna come.
Exactly.
If your lights are gonna be on.
Exactly.
It's called Maslow's hierarchy of needs. a lot of teachers don't understand that a lot of us go to school without fresh pair of clothes to wear. A lot of us go to school hungry. They don't understand there's a whole pyramid based off this, so we could have self-actualization. And we got to start understanding this complex system that's pretty much the problem is the solution to a lot of these issues. And we just got to break those walls and make sure that we freaking build a whole community that understands each other.
There's this movie called Trading Places with Eddie Murphy, and it's about this man he's super rich.
And it's Dan Aykroyd on.
Yeah, it's Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy, and Eddie Murphy is this dude on the street.
Okay.
And they're betting that, it's not the street that's necessarily making him crazy, but he's actually crazy. But someone else was saying, no, it's actually the street that's making him crazy. And if we put him in this position, he'll make him a better person.
Yeah.
And they betted $1 on their lives and to see how it would switch. And pretty much is showing that it's systematically the street that makes people do certain things and to react a certain way, whether or not they're a good person, slightly off, or just an evil person. You know what I mean? It just depends on what you're doing at that exact moment.
Yeah, it's the power of the mind again. It's psychology. Psychology. There we go. So there was a study a couple years ago by this professor. He put a bunch of regular people, business people, into a prison situation, and what turns out to be these people went crazy inside the prison. And once they took them out, they thought they were prisoners.
That's the Stanford prison experiment.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say they made a movie about that.
I've seen that.
Yeah, that was a really famous one for sure.
That's a trip, bro.
Yeah, but I mean, going back to that scenario of the movie, it's like you're a product of your environment, and then that's something that's sad to say. Your environment is not good, or for a lot of us, Yeah.
So I'm really happy that this type of event is happening, and all these people, big, small, medium, are willing to come and talk about all of this. And how long is this show? From 3 to 11 p.m.?
It's actually from 11 to 11.
11 to 11.
It starts at 11 a.m. Then we got an hour intermission.
Okay.
To shift gears from the free community event. And I got to highlight that too, because there's been a lot of misconceptions. But from 11 to 4
to 11 to 3.
11 to 3 is a free community event. That's where a lot of the workshop, the lectures, the speeches are happening. And then we're going to have a brief intermission. And then from around 4:30, we start the paid concert event. That's when the headliners are going to perform, and a lot more of the lineup is going to perform.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so don't think, oh, well, I must see Common for free.
No, yeah. So the reason we're doing this $30 admission fee is because we want to put this back into the youth, into the programs. We want to invest it into Roses in the Concrete back into Oakland. So we're building bridges all across the state. So don't think it's the $30. Where is it going to? It's 100% going back to the community. So please support the cause. If you're about hip-hop, you're about this show. It's educatement coming to you. So for sure, yeah. So Uncommons on the lineup, Aloe Black. We also got Brian Sprigson and Gifted Gab. You already heard it.
Gifted Gab, dope. I like her.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
She's tight.
Blimes Brixton, she used to go by O'Blimey. She's real dope. Her and Reverie, they've always been cool, and I used to see them at shows out in LA. She's always been dope. Now that she's with Gab, the little thing they're doing together is real dope.
Yeah, it's powerful, yeah. We also have Ruby Ibarra on the show, so make sure you cop your tickets now, because I don't know if they're going to last.
And where can they find the tickets, actually?
Yeah, they can find the tickets at seastickets.us/roses, or they could DM our Instagrams. We'll be delivering some of these as well at Santa Unidos or Roses in Concrete.
I'm excited to do coverage on this.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm really happy that the radio station can be involved in this.
Yeah.
I'm really happy about that.
Exactly, yeah.
We're happy to have you guys. This has been really cool.
Yeah, and much respect to you guys for actually doing this, like I said, to you guys and the team, because this is something that not only your community needs, but we're from the IE. Santa Ana obviously isn't in the IE, but still, if it's going good for you guys, for us, I mean, we're all winning. That's the way I see it.
Yeah.
So hopefully this is something that we can do in the Inland Empire,
Yeah.
Based on your guys' success, this would be dope, to do over here, because all communities have ghettos and all communities have kids, that are going through the same thing you guys are discussing. So That's dope, and hopefully this is something that can grow and go through all the communities.
Yeah, we want to announce that we're going to do a 10-city tour. We're going to be visiting all the most affected cities, and we want to end it with, in Sacramento, making sure that we put this policy in forefront where they make these laws. So we want to announce that. So the next show is coming to Oakland, so stay tuned for that.
Dope.
I like that
Right
concept.
on. You heard it here
You're
first.
on one right now.
Yeah.
Where's the air horn at?
There we go.
Got it.
For sure. So yeah, make sure you cop your tickets now. We're gonna have a dope show, and we're gonna add to this lineup throughout the year. So make sure these artists are more than just artists. These people are our familia. So we gotta make sure that we show up and show love for our kids and our students and educators. So cop your tickets now at Roses in the Concrete on our Instagram, or visit our website santaneedles.org. So stay tuned.
Yo, man.
Right on. And much love to all our listeners out there. We got a couple minutes left with the show, so I do want to give a shout out to our sponsors. Shout out to the Music Lounge 710. We're off for this week, but follow the page and stay tuned because the sessions will definitely be coming back. Also, Puff Sauce, their page got shut down, unfortunately, so they did make a new page. Go ahead and make sure you follow the new page. That's at Puff Sauce _. So it's PUFFSAUCE _. Also, shout out to Serious Cartoons and Records, the only record store in San Bernardino. If you don't know, now you know. Go ahead and check that store out. Shout out to the homie Phantom Threat and the homie Gilead. You know, they've been holding it down. They have a lot of free shows there all the time, and go ahead and check them out. They're very friendly dudes. They got records and comic books, and they even got a new wall, I think, of cassette tapes. Did you see that?
Yeah, I love cassette tapes. Personally, I prefer cassette tapes over records any day.
Yeah.
I love the crispy sound that the cassette has.
It's crazy. You're probably one of the very few people that would admit that. Because most DJs are like, no, it's all vinyl, you know, vinyl, that's it.
Bro, I would DJ cassette tapes if I
That would
could.
be dope, bro.
Dope that would be.
Talk to Phantom. We probably make that happen. Do a show, all cassette set.
All cassette set. That's hard.
Right on. Once again, shout out to all the listeners out there. We appreciate you tuning in every Tuesday. Whether you're tuning in on KCAA radio on one of the frequencies, we do tell you also if you're out of range, you can tune in on the free app, Simple Radio. Just download the app and search 1050 AM. You'll see the KCA logo and just click on the show. And you guys got anything else to say before we go? I believe we got like a minute left. Any shout outs?
Well, shout out to the team, Jonathan Hernandez, Mike Hernandez, and then Tyson of Concept. And
Shouts out
as well.
to Tyson for sure.
Oh yeah, Tyson did,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, he really helped us put this event together. He was the glue for us. We wanted to do something else really special for y'all. We want to do a ticket giveaway. We could give away a pair of tickets. I don't know how you guys want to go about that. But make sure let's follow these social media pages because we're gonna.
Yeah, well, if anything, we'll do it on our social media page.
Exactly.
We'll have them follow you guys, follow us, and
Yeah.
we'll do it like that. The show is, before we go ahead and announce the show again. When's it going down and where?
This Saturday at the Esports Arena, we'll have Common, Clarence Brixton, Gift of Gab. We'll have Aloe Black,
KRS-One.
KRS-One, the teacher. So make sure you buy your tickets now at seatstickets.us/roses.
Do not miss it. That $30 is going straight back to the cause.
Yeah,
Exactly,
for real.
yeah.
That's a steal, honestly, for that lineup.
Yes,
It is.
It's a whole
solid
festival.
lineup. It's a festival from 11 to 11 going down this Saturday in Santa Ana. Shout out to all the listeners, y'all. This is IE Radio. My name is Heavy the Homie.
Nappy 2000.
And we do appreciate y'all. Tune in next Tuesday for more hip hop and more fresh news for the community. One love, y'all.
You tuned in to IE Radio on KCAA.
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, and now 102.3 FM.
Aaron here from On the Brink Morning Show, where we talk about all that is engaging in the Inland Empire. News, politics, business, family, things to do, and so much more. Join us weekdays from 6 to 7 a.m. on KCAA 102.3 FM, 106.5 FM, and 1050 a.m. or on KCAAradio.com.
from the high desert and the great American Southwest, and pumping out to you loud and crystal clear from sea to shining sea and all the way from pole to freezing pole and everywhere there is in between. It is always my honor and great pleasure to welcome you to the Kingdom of